Would you believe this? Would you believe that a 35, 36-year-old Hollywood star Zac Efron would fall in love with this young lady here, or would instead go for his 60-year-old mother? Would you believe that Jessica Alba, 120-pound, 40-something-year-old woman, is actually a badass special forces lady? There she is. She look aging like fine wine. No, she's not. She's not aging like fine wine. I mean, she's still okay, but she's not aging like fine wine. She looked a lot better when she was in Sin City, when she was 20-something years old. So let's stop the bullshit. And no, she's no special. Oh, Fernando, you're focusing on Hollywood movies. That's bullshit. Well, let's talk about things that are presented as real thing, like this guy saying that he looks this way because he does a lot of cardio, while at the same time you find a guy that is the most fit human fucking being in the planet, gold medalist, that this is the way he looks, and he runs insane amounts. Great video, by the way, if you want to go look at. This is honestly the most fit human being in the planet. I have no reason to doubt that. I mean, yeah, having gold medals, but actually getting tested and basically living. He's basically living in a training facility in Sierra Nevada. I've been here a few years ago. You feel a headache the moment you're even there, let alone try to run uphill like this guy is. And they measure the amount of oxygen, so he has basically what they mean by being the most fit human being is he's the guy that absorbs the most amount of oxygen with each breath, right? So yeah, it's a very clickbaity video, and as always, you have to doubt everything, but this seems legit enough. Yeah, the guy is a gold medalist. The guy halves David Goggins' Ironman.
Fastest Ironman time. Unbelievable time of 6 hours and 44 minutes. For comparison, David Goggins, who I guess you all know, his fastest Ironman time is 11 hours and 24 minutes.
So David Goggins does it in 11 hours. The actual guy that's the most fit human being on the planet apparently does it in 6 hours. Okay, that's interesting. But you know what I think is very interesting? This is the way the guy looks.
This is what the world's fittest human looks like.
Would you say, just by looking at him, that he's the most fit human being in the planet? Just by looking at it, would you assume that David Goggins is more fit? It's not even close. The guy is not only just a professional athlete. No, he's not just a professional athlete. He's a gold Olympic medalist in this discipline. So, I mean, and yes, of course, I do understand that bodybuilding is completely different. That, yes, we all get that. But this is what a fit person looks like. This is what actually maybe what the fittest person on the planet looks like. But when they try to tell you that you look a certain way simply because you're super fit like this guy.
And I train abs at least once, if not twice a week. And I hit them hard. Well, as you can see, cardio is the key.
Cardio is the key, says the 40-something-year-old guy that obviously takes a shitload of juice because we can say, but people believe this, just like they believe the Liver King. We live in a state of constant lies. You're being lied on the media. You're being lied on whatever. So when they report it, yeah, today it's going to be 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, that's an actual number. That's probably true. Yes, a car crashed in this road. A couple people died. Okay. Now, what is the editorial? How are things presented? What news is being shared or not? Why did A attack B and B retaliate attacking A? Why is it that happened? And why is it that you didn't even mention that A attacked B in the first place? You're only telling me that B attacked A again, right? But you didn't explain that it was actually something that was in retaliation for something that had already happened. You're taking things out of context intentionally so. We're all the time believing this crap. And there's people that actually fall for it. They think that Jessica Alba, if she trained hard enough at 45 years of age, she could beat the crap out of a number of grown guys that weigh 3 times as much. They will believe that this woman is completely natural, as she claims to be the case, right? She says, I'm 100% natural. I don't do drugs. Okay. This guy is honest. This is this guy at 2024. This is how he looked. Let's go back here. right? This is the way in which he looks in 2024. This is how he looked in 2023. Why? Because he's not juicing anymore. So juice dude, 2023, non-juice same dude. It is, and even here, what you see in terms of muscle, that is still in a big part thanks to this stuff that allowed him to look like this in the first place. Right when he was like this, he was like a fucking Hulk. That's why he has that little bit of muscle that you see. Because if not, he would be like the other dude that we're looking at and does not look all that impressive. This is Peter Attia, MD. This guy is a professional about health, fitness, and this is what he thought was true.
8 off, 1 to 2. In other words, they're basically taking TR on 8 off time, 8 on testosterone a week. Yeah. And we're talking is shocked at how little drug use. Reason to believe they're not, right? Like, talk about the drug use. So I've spoken to 70s bodybuilders and if they're being honest with me, and I have no reason to believe they're not.
This man is not an idiot. He's what, an actual doctor? Anyway, this man is not an idiot. He's a smart person. He's a multi-millionaire in his field. And he still wants to believe the lie. There's nothing wrong with him. It's quite the opposite, but this is human nature. People want to believe. You will want to believe something that is simply not true.
Right? Like, what do they care?
You would think.
Yeah, like, what do they care? I was shocked at how little drug use was going on back then amongst the best of the best. Yeah. And we're talking like 1 to 200 milligrams of testosterone a week.
Yeah.
8 weeks at a time, 8 on, 8 off, 8 on, 8 off, 1 to 2. In other words, they're basically taking TRT.
Yeah, they're not telling the truth.
So smart guy, and I don't know if it's not about, he just understands this. Sir, Mr. Peter, they lie to you. People do this all the time. People lie all the time. When Arnold fucking Schwarzenegger was saying, I think it's still the case, I think that now he's admitting, but for years he said that he was 100% completely natural. It's all just about hard work and a good diet. Arnold Schwarzenegger lied for decades. We all saw that was not true, but there's a percentage of people that, no, he said that he's not taking any drugs. No, why would he lie? Well, because the way in which he presents himself is a lot more suited for different sorts of advertising and promotions and going into family-friendly movies and doing a bunch of things that made him incredibly wealthy. That's why he was lying, because it benefits him. So I sound like explaining things to idiots, but the psychological mechanism going on in people's head, he talked with these people and he believed that, just a little bit, you want to believe the lie. This is human nature 101, right? We want to believe the lie. And it applies to everything. It applies to a young man, a teenager that wants to look like this, and if he works out and he doesn't. I've been working out for a year and I still look like a damn noodle. What's wrong with me? Well, there's nothing wrong with you. That's just a normal human body. That's how you will look, no matter how hard you work out, right? No matter how much vitamins and food and burning 5,000 calories a day, running uphill where there's no damn air, right? You will still look this way. You're not going to be all that impressive. No, but I'm going to be focusing on my quads and my biceps. Well, you will maybe have a little bit more definition, and genetics do play a little bit of a role, very tiny. Maybe there's a little bit more muscular because of genetics, but you're not going to be this creature. I just work out a lot. No, lady, you're taking a shit ton of drugs. Look at that body. It's the body of a man. You have more testosterone than a dude in this body, right? But it goes for the teenager that looks at a photograph on Instagram and says, I wish I could be that good looking. And maybe that's simply not the case for you. Those dices were rolled and you look a certain way, and that's that. And you have to be happy with that. But when you go on Instagram, you see a girl that just a woman that is a lot better looking. Maybe someone that actually does work out a lot. Maybe someone that has a shit ton of makeup. Maybe someone that is actually a fat bearded dude that created an image with AI, and it's not even a fucking real person that you're comparing yourself to and obsessing over. And yes, there's gorgeous women and beautiful men for sure out there in the world. Maybe that's not you. And you will just have to accept that. And maybe you will have to accept that all you can do is do the best with the body that you want. So try to eat healthy, work out, be healthy, and that's going to be doing a lot for how good or bad you look, right? Comparing yourself to something that you will simply never be makes no sense, just because of how tall you are, how short you are, how good looking you are, the facial features that you may have or not. You can do a lot. There's fucking ugly people that have been extremely successful and end up extremely successful in terms of their relationships and being attracted to people of the opposite sex when maybe it was all about hard work and having, maximizing your potential with whatever nature, God, or whatever the hell you want gave you. That's all very real. What's not real is believing that when you're a 60-year-old woman, fucking Zac Efron of all people will show up at your door and fall in love with you because you're that damn charming. No, you're not. Even Nicole Kidman, that was a gorgeous, beautiful woman, now she's a 60-year-old lady, and she's not attractive. She's just an old lady. This is a point in which you wonder why. Why do you put yourself through this? You're a multi-millionaire actress, famous. What else you could probably... You want to, reaffirm, feel better about yourself? Fine. This is just sad to watch. Or funny, laughable, like in my case. But the idea that, again, that a woman of any age is going to be beating around a guy that's just... It's just showing it's all the same. I mean, that's what I'm trying to explain with this video. It's all the same stuff. You're constantly being manipulated and lied to on the news as well. I want to do a video about this that I saw recently from Joe Rogan, right? About this woman, this woman that wrote a book about nuclear war. What is it that she wrote about? Of course, about the threat of World War III, nuclear war. We're all gonna die, guys. Didn't you realize it already? You guys post this on the comments of many of my videos. What, you wanna boom? No, fucking no. I'll do a dedicated video, and even then I won't go into all of the little details, but no, the idea that the world is just about to end in nuclear holocaust because everyone's going to be throwing tons of millions of bombs. What happens if you throw 1 million bombs? What would you say happens if someone throws 1 million bombs in planet Earth? 1 million nuclear bombs. What would happen? Well, the world would, of course, end. Would it really? What if I told you that we've already seen the equivalent of more than 1 million nuclear bombs detonated and even more going up into the atmosphere, and still there was no nuclear winter? There was a little bit of a half a degree lost, but it wasn't the end of the world either. The world is still here. We are constantly bombarded with this bullshit. It is on the physical aspect, it's on how you look, it's on how much money you make, how successful you are. You're even being lied on how happy someone else is. Just because you see a picture of someone young, good looking, rich in Instagram, you don't know if they're getting the shit beaten out of them in a toxic relationship, as it often happens with most of these actresses. You don't know if that guy is actually living a lie in every shape and form that you can think of and pretending to be happy. You know what? Usually people that are super happy and fulfilled with their lives, they don't really need they don't feel much of a need to post about it anywhere. At least that's what I've seen. Most people that, oh, shit, yeah. No one even knows. But when you try to compare yourself, when you compare your life, the way you look, the way you live, the way everything to these bullshit idealized lies of what you're supposed to be, that's a recipe for for disaster. That's going to be you being unhappy, you being miserable, never happy with whatever it is you have already going on, and you may have a great life. You will not be adequately prepared for anything if you believe this sort of crap either. Oh no, but nuclear extinction. Okay, chill, read, learn, realize how you're being manipulated, realize how people were already being manipulated in the 80s and the 70s, and even till this day. Guys, we're going into a new era. With all of the AI stuff, we're going into an era where it will be increasingly difficult to find something real. It's going to be, right? For all I know, you will one day find something that is completely fabricated with AI and will be impossible to tell one thing from the next. But this is something you have to work on as of right now. It is important. It's not only about surviving, preparedness, it's about how you're going to live. And that's important too. Guys, if you want to learn more about all of this stuff, you have my channel, you have my books, you have all of this stuff. And if you haven't subscribed already to the channel, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button and see you on the next one. Take care.